Welcome everyone once again to Reimagining the Magic on this fine week of December 3rd, 2017 for episode 8. I'm Katie.
I'm Julie.
And this week we're going to talk about our top 10 favorite Disney holiday specials. But first we would like to give you some Disney news.
In Disney news this week, Coco will be losing the Frozen short in the I can't talk today. We'll be losing the Frozen short before it due to the outcry against it and the fact that people just don't like it. Apparently, I haven't seen it. Apparently, it's just not good, which seems kind of shocking. But at the same time, I'm just like, I think Frozen's kind of run its course at this point.
Yeah, it's not that people themselves hate Frozen. A lot of people thought it was kind of out of place being in front of a Pixar movie, and it sent kind of not such a nice message that Disney, the company, didn't think Coco could perform and bring in the box office stuff and such like that if it didn't have another very popular Disney property put with it to try to draw people in.
Right. So as of December 8th, that short will no longer be running in front of Coco. So if you do want to see it, go before December 8th. If you don't, go afterwards.
Yeah, and hopefully if you do want to see it and aren't able to while it's still in theaters, it will likely either be released sometime on TV, on the Disney Channel, or on ABC or whatever, or it'll probably get a DVD or Netflix release.
Mm-hmm.
And
so that's our big Disney movie news this week.
And then in park news, you can look it up on YouTube or on Disney blogs. Disney has released the basic gist and storyline of Mickey's Runaway Railway. That's going to be an attraction at Disney's Hollywood Studios at the Florida Park. And that is the ride that is replacing the Great Movie Ride, which has closed this past summer. So I guess now we would like to do some thank yous.
And we'd like to say thank you to everyone who has listened to our episodes, especially last week's episode. We got over 400 views on YouTube alone. So we thank you for listening to us talk about important topics and hopefully sharing it with your friends. Keep sharing it. December 14th is right around the corner, so keep talking about it. Keep calling your senators. Don't let net neutrality fall by the wayside.
Absolutely, and also, of course, all the people who've been listening on Breach and everyone who's joined us on Facebook, too. I've been getting more followers on Facebook, and we do have a group on Facebook, and we will put up questions in there and discussion, so definitely hop in and participate. Everything is lighthearted and family-friendly. We're not going to put up with any hate in our group.
Mm-hmm.
So every idea pretty much is a good idea. So feel free to, hop in, join in, and be part of this community. And thank you everyone who has joined the community so far. And once again, we have been sponsored by Breach. That is BREACH.TV. And there is an audio site called Breach.fm. That is BREACH.fm. Breach FM is still working the kinks out, but that'll be hosting audio-only content. Breach.tv is well established for visual media, like videos, so you can have podcasts, music videos, vlogs, you name it, you can put it up there. And there's ad revenue, so you can make money from your content, which is always very good. So definitely check it out today and sign up, because signing up is 100% free. And let's hop into the episode. Episode number 8, our top 10 favorite Disney holiday specials.
I'm so excited. This is my favorite time of year.
And number 10 just happens to be one of Julie's favorites. So take it away, Julie.
Well, growing up, so a little backstory to this one before I say what it is. Growing up, every year we had special Christmas VHSs that we put away and only got out after Thanksgiving and watched. And this was one of them. We had Disney's Very Merry Christmas Sing-Along, which was a holiday classic for us. We would sing along to all the songs, and we'd watch the the Disney characters play around and in the snow. And one of my favorite songs is oh gosh, no, I can't remember the name of it. Oh no, oh no. Okay, well, it's the one about building a snowman that is not frozen. Oh gosh.
The not Frozen building a snowman song.
Gosh, I completely, if I remember the name of that song, I will tell you. But the animation is Huey, Dewey, and Louie all building snowmen and having fun in like a winter wonderland, and it was just one of the ones that really stands out to me. Oh, and also they have gosh, which one is it? One of them has the animation from Fantasia with the Winter Wonderland and like the ice fairies and stuff. The song is different, but they use that visual with it.
That's interesting. So I've seen the Disney sing-along videos. I don't think I saw the Christmas one, but yeah, they had like the clips and stuff. So I guess they just took some recycled Disney animation and put it over Christmas songs.
Not all of it. Some of it is designed for the songs themselves, but some of it, yes, is just recycled. I want to say that one might be Joy to the World that has that animation over it. The last song on there. I remember hating it because it was real slow, but looking back on it, the animation is just gorgeous. And it's been a long time since I saw this, but all I remember is it's a bunch of people walking through the woods holding light, like lamps, but the animation is like, oh gosh, circa Bambi era. So the backgrounds are all watercolor and everything's real soft and pretty, and it's just gorgeous. A lot of these songs are on YouTube. If you ever want to just look up Disney's Very Merry Christmas Sing Along. A lot of them are on there, and you can see them. Some of the animation is just beautiful.
I would completely agree. I'll have to check it out sometime, because I remember through the Disney sing-along videos, that's how I learned about Zippity Doo-Dah.
Yep, yep, same here. I had that one.
So I guess we'll jump into number 9, and this one is questionable because it's not outright Christmas holiday themed, but it includes music that we associate with the holidays, and that would be Fantasia and Fantasia 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Because Fantasia features the Nutcracker Suite, while Fantasia 2000 doesn't quite feature exactly a Christmas-themed song, but they take some music and they have the animation, which is a short about the story of the Steadfast Tin Soldier, which many people equate with being a kind of a Christmas story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and Fantasia it's all beautiful music, beautiful animation, and if you haven't seen it, please see it. It's very different from any other Disney movie, especially because there's like no dialogue except for in the original Fantasia, it's like the conductor guy introducing the segments, and then in Fantasia 2000, it's several people either prominent with Disney or celebrities who introduce the segments. That's the only dialogue. Everything else is just music and beautiful animation that goes with the music that usually tells a story.
Right.
So definitely check it out. I think both of them are still on Netflix if you have Netflix.
Yeah, check them out soon. They won't be there much longer.
Not much longer. And number 8, Prep and Landing, which I think was a TV special.
Right, it was on ABC, done by Disney, but it was aired originally on ABC originally for television. It's been a while since I saw it. I remember it being really cute, but I mean that was years ago.
And the reason why it's kind of low on the list is mostly kind of my fault. If you are currently going to the Disney parks, especially the parks in Florida and in the Hollywood studios, for their Christmassy holiday promotional content, there's a lot of Prep and Landing. It's just in your face. And right. I never want to see those elves again.
I think the reason for that is Prep and Landing is really the only Christmas property they own that isn't just Disney characters, like Mickey dressed like Mickey as Santa Claus, or whatever. Because a lot of what I've noticed is a lot of Disney's Christmas content's actually live action.
Yeah, and there have been some like Disney holiday movies, like there's Mickey's Once Upon Christmas, Twice Upon Christmas, which is like kind of like a collection of Christmas themed shorts, but those aren't on the list because of just what they are, and they were all like direct to video things, and we tried to not include direct to video things. They have to have aired either in theaters or on TV, or were a sequel to a Disney movie that came out.
Right. The only reason we included the sing along is because it's kind of a novelty and a little bit nostalgic.
Yeah, that a lot of people grew up with. So, and it's not terrible, and it definitely gets a lot of credit for being an original Disney Christmas concept with characters that they kind of own.
Right, right. And I think that's why they probably push it so hard in the parks, because it is really their only standout Christmas franchise.
And number 7, I'm going to have Julie talk about more because I haven't seen it in so long.
Oh my gosh, neither have I. I should get my husband in here to talk about it because he loves this movie. Like, he's out playing Fortnite. I can hear him yelling. He and his buddies are playing Fortnite, so I apologize if you hear them yelling. That means they won.
So, number 7 would be The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm. And I have seen it. It's just been a while. It's funny. I think that's one of the things I remember the most about it is hilarious. This movie is, I mean, like, I remember being kind of annoyed with it in middle school when they would sit us down and make us watch it because I was like, oh, I'm so above this. Like, I'm too cool for the Muppets now. Because, you so associate the Muppets with, like, Sesame Street and stuff. But this movie is witty and funny, and it is an absolute classic.
And that's a very nice thing you don't always see with holiday specials. Is like they're sentimental usually, and they have some comedy, but this is just comedy. This is Muppets in their purest form. And who's Ebenezer in the Christmas Carol?
Say what?
Who's Ebenezer in the Muppet Christmas Carol?
Oh gosh, I don't know, but I can consult the almighty Google.
Why do I think in my head it's one of those the guys that sit up in that booth and mock everything? It's either them or an actor, but
it's an actor. It's a live action. Let me see who that was. Michael Caine is who it was.
That's why it's so good. That's why I want to think like in a picture of Muppet Ebenezer Scrooge. I picture as one of those guys.
Right. For the life of me, I can't remember their names right now, but I've heard them over and over. People tell me them over and over because I can't remember them.
So, of course, it's a classic. It's a staple for Disney fans during the holiday season to watch the Muppet Christmas Carol. I don't think I've seen it on Netflix. It's popped up off. I don't know what the Muppet Division's relationship is with streaming services right now. But I know you can buy it on DVD, you can buy it on Blu-ray, you can get it on iTunes or Amazon, so definitely check it out. And I'm sure it's probably going to air on TV on some channel somewhere this holiday season.
I'm sure.
And number 6, which is something I hope Disney will air, just as kind of like a nostalgic throwback on the Disney Channel, is the Even Stevens Holiday Special.
Here it comes! Chicka, come on! Chicka, chicka, chicka! Chicka, chicka, chicka!
And I love it so much because while it does have some Christmas, it actually focuses on Hanukkah because the Stevens family, it's the mother is Jewish, the father isn't, and so it focuses more on the Jewish culture of the Stevens family, and the basic gist is it's kind of like It's a Wonderful Life where someone wishes they were never born, and an angelic figure kind of shows them what life would be like without them around, and things like that. So basically, like Louis, who's played by Shia LaBeouf back when he was still funny and adorable, he kind of does one of those wishes where it's like, oh, my family doesn't love me, they wish I wasn't here, I'm ruining the holiday for them, and the spirit of his deceased maternal grandmother, his Bubby, which is an affectionate term for grandmothers in Jewish culture, comes and kind of does that angelic thing to show him what life would be like with his family if he wasn't there for the holidays and wasn't around, and then shows him what an ideal holiday would be if, he were there and on his best behavior. And it is so sweet, and it's so funny, because there's this part with a roast chicken, and Lewis makes it do a dance, and they're all dancing in a conga line, and he, has the roast chicken on his head, and they're like, chicka, 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 and I remember that, and I haven't seen that probably in, 15 years, and I still remember that part. So, definitely look it up and check it out, and I have to give it kudos, because it's one of those rare Hanukkah specials, and I'm like, please, thank you for acknowledging Hanukkah exists, Disney, because so often these TV stations and these media networks do not. And thank you. You give all the Jewish people something that they can enjoy during the holiday season.
Right. I've actually never seen this. I'm going to say this a million times on this podcast. I didn't have Disney Channel growing up, so I've actually never seen it.
And I will say, and for that, you're missing out, because Even Stevens was just so great. It was such a good show. I miss it.
Yeah, I used to see the reruns that they would play on one Saturday morning every now and then, but I never saw any of the specials.
And that's really unfortunate. Disney should have done more. They should have done more. And the funniest thing is, because I mentioned in our talk about One Saturday Morning that I didn't really grow up with Disney Channel until I was much older and moved somewhere where we got it. But I used to visit my grandparents a lot during the holidays, and they got Disney Channel, so I'd have that on in the background while I was hanging out there, so I'd watch a lot of the specials that way. So
right.
That's also probably why it has some sentimental value to me, because I would hang out with my grandparents, who were also Jewish, so it wasn't very Christmassy there. It was just holiday time, family time.
Right.
And number 5, it's in the middle for a reason. That would be Nightmare Before Christmas.
Here come the haters. As soon as I say this, it's just going to be a chorus of, oh my gosh, what? I actually don't like Nightmare Before Christmas. It got shoved in my face so much by my friends in middle school and high school that I was just I don't understand why you like this movie so much. So it kind of annoyed me to the point where I was like, I don't like this. I feel the same way about Maroon 5.
I'm going to say I'm going to say it's overhyped.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's overhyped, and people miscredit it. It is by Tim Burton in a sense. He greenlighted it and greenlit the concept, but he did not direct it. He did not direct it, so it's not actually his movie. He did not direct it. There was some other people's artistry in there, and unless you look them up on IMDb, you just won't know where they are. Or you actually look at the credits and see that it's not Tim Burton whose name first shows up when the movie ends. And also, I didn't like it for a similar reason when I was a kid. It was shoved in my face, especially in middle school, and you saw it everywhere, Hot Topic, and it was just the cool thing for edgy kids.
Right. I was not an edgy kid. I was over there with my Sailor Moon and my Pokemon. I was not an edgy kid. I was a weeb.
And and some of it, when I was a kid was disturbing. It was disturbing, that part where they got to Jack delivering all the Halloweeny Christmas presents and how just creepy they were. And I'm I wouldn't want to open that up on Christmas. That would traumatize me. And
yeah, and I think that's what puts it squarely in the category of Halloween movie and not Christmas movie.
Several people have called it a Thanksgiving movie.
Right in the middle. That's perfect.
I'm gonna say I don't really like Nightmare for Christmas, but I do again, I'm shouting them out in this podcast. Practical Folks on YouTube, they did a Drunk Disney Nightmare Before Christmas, and it is hilarious because they make some jokes and they just keep running with it, and it makes it so much better. Because there is that one line, if you remember that little band that plays throughout the movie?
Yes.
And that line, "Nice work, Bone Daddy. And they take that and they keep repeating it back throughout the movie. Every time, like, Jack messes up, they're like, nice work, Bone Daddy. And then
I might have that might make it better.
And then, like, the scientist guy for Sally, who's, like, technically her dad because he's a scientist. Nice work, Scientist Daddy. So, yeah, if you don't like Night Before Christmas and you want to make it better, look up Practical Folks on YouTube and look up Drunk Disney, Nightmare Before Christmas. It is not a family-friendly channel because it's called Drunk Disney for a reason. They are consuming alcohol while drinking movies, and there is swearing and adult talk. So I'm going to say if you're under the age of, like, 13, don't watch it unless your parents say it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we will sneak on down into the one we have to justify.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hate that I have to justify it, but...
Take it away. Tell them what number 4 is.
Number 4 is Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, which I adore, and I adored it as a child. And everyone now is like, it's so horrible, but I'm like, I love it.
I'm going to say Beauty and the Beast, who are fans of the original Disney movie and are purists, they just hate that it exists. They hate that any sequel to Beauty and the Beast exists. They're just like, no, you're ruining a perfectly good thing. No.
Yeah, but I love it. It's so fun. It's so cute and it's so fun.
It's a very charming movie, and I'm going to say it is perfectly good holiday-themed entertainment for kids, and it's something nice that you can put on for your kids. It's not going to shove any religious message in their face or make them question Santa or anything, which some holiday Christmas specials do, which I'm not a big fan of. Because, there's something that people don't realize. There's a lot of, Jewish kids, Muslim kids, whatever, who don't celebrate Christmas, but they know a lot of their friends who do celebrate Christmas growing up believe in Santa. Do you see any of them ruining Santa for them? No. Just because they don't believe in Santa? Because they don't believe in him? No. So I don't like that TV shows and, like, specials aimed at kids make them question the existence of Santa. When Santa's totally real, it's just his methods may not be what they think they are.
Right? Santa's awesome. I mean, come on. I've been meeting with the helpers at the malls for years. And let me tell you, the guy's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool that he has such a network that he can have helpers at every city, every state, every country, even every place in the world. Mm-hmm. That he has such a network. And it's all just he has really good technology. And it may not be magic in the sense we think magic as, but science of it itself can be magic.
Yep.
And so I don't like that there's holiday specials to do that. But anyway, back to Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
Why it's so great is Tim Curry.
He's the voice of the villain.
The villain who's a big organ.
Yeah, a big old pipe organ.
This is sorry,
right.
Kids, we're getting a little blue here, but we are talking Tim Curry.
Right.
Gotta get a little blue here because Tim Curry,
yes.
And he's an organ.
He plays a pipe organ who, to quote from the movie, is bolted to the wall.
And he also, I'm sorry, he seems to have like a very weird crush on the Beast because he seems really jealous of Belle. And the fact that he just really doesn't want Beast to fall in love with him. He sings a whole song about how love is bad, love is fleeting, and don't do it, Beast. Because clearly you should love me, your trusted organ.
No, it's totally like a bro club where they're just like, they bro it up. And so if he goes off and falls in love and gets married, it's like, well, you can't bro it up with us anymore. That's what he's doing.
Oh no, I just remembered something in that movie that's not quite offensive, but definitely a stereotype. That axe that chops the firewood.
Oh, I don't remember that.
The Hanukkah axe.
I don't remember that at all.
He's talking and he has a clear Yiddish accent and he's like, "I gewalt."
I don't remember.
And it's an axe, and he has like a bushy unibrow, and it's the Hanukkah axe.
Oh my gosh.
Beauty and the Beast and the Enchanted Christmas with bonus character, the Hanukkah axe that chops the firewood.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all. It's been years since I've seen this movie. We used to watch it every year.
Well, once again, if you want a funny take on it, Practical
Right.
Folks, Drunk Disney, they also did Beauty and the Beast. They haven't done every Disney movie yet, and they've only done like less than a handful of the sequels. But they also did Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, and they do call out the Hanukkah axe.
I will say this one movie breaks our no straight to DVD things, but it was originally going to be a theatrical release, so it scooted in there.
It was going to be a theatrical release, and it has aired on television.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It has aired on television.
I don't know why that surprises me.
It aired on television around the time that Beauty and the Beast would also be like re-released on VHS and DVD and stuff. Like, it's out of the vault.
Oh, okay. See, I remember the first time we got it. My little cousin was born in November, I believe. And when she was born, as like a gift from the cousin, if I remember correctly, my aunt gave it to us. So that's how we got our VHS copy of it.
I remember just getting it. I don't remember how. I just don't remember when. Probably when it first came out. And I watched it, and I was just kind of bored and a little confused.
Well, I remember that because my brother and my cousin were born a month apart. So I spent a lot of time in hospitals over that month and a half period.
Yeah, I remember the part where Belle and the Beast go like ice skating in that movie.
Right.
And then like the Beast like slips on the ice, and
Mm-hmm.
he's like, it's slippery.
Oh, the writing is terrible, but it's so fun to watch.
He's so emo in that movie. He's more emo than he is in like the regular movie.
Right? And can we talk about how the fact that it's like somewhere in between like what we don't see in the movie in the original?
It's like the middiest of midquels.
Yep.
It takes place during that part where there's snow on the ground.
Yeah.
That's where it takes place, during the part where there's snow on the ground. You can't get more mid than that. And just every time, especially when he's playing the Tim Curry organ, I just want to point out that like he has like just so much emo that his scenes, I just hear, how could this happen to me?
But yeah, so number 4 is that it's a fun movie. The kids will like it. I loved it growing up. We're not going to vouch for how it stands up as adults, but
If you want a good analysis on it, look up Lindsay Ellis's channel on YouTube. She also went by Nostalgia Chick back when she made content for That Guy with the Glasses / Channel Awesome. She did a very, very good, insightful review on it. That's also very funny. So if you want to know more about it without watching it or buying it, that's another way to do that. And I guess we will segue on to number 3, which definitely stands out in terms of holiday specials.
right? Top 3, everybody. Top 3.
Include and honorable mention, but yes, top 3. The Proud Family holiday special where they learn about Kwanzaa.
Right, this is something you almost never see in holiday specials is mentions of Kwanzaa.
It's like Kwanzaa is just this kind of thing where it's like, oh, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Oh yeah, I guess Kwanzaa's a thing too. Kwanzaa.
Right, and I think the difference of the reason Kwanzaa gets that kind of like strange treatment is it's not a religious holiday. It's just like more of a cultural holiday.
But it's still really cool, and I guess if I remember correctly, in that holiday special, there's like, I guess this poor family or something that I think Penny meets, and they just need a place to stay for a few days to get on their feet and celebrate the holiday. And so like the Prouds themselves talk about Christmas, and they're like, oh no, we celebrate Kwanzaa. It's part of our culture. And of course, the Proud family, they're African American, and this other black family comes in and introduces them to the concept of Kwanzaa. And of course, like, Oscar is that kind of character where It's like, oh, I don't like to try new things. And it's like, try it, you'll like it, try it. No, I do not like it, Sam. I am. You will like Kwanzaa. You will like Kwanzaa. And he's like, oh, I do like Kwanzaa. And it actually talks about how it's celebrated and like why it's, you know, worth looking into and worth celebrating and worth appreciating. And just like the it's not a menorah, that's the Jew in me, but their own candle thing. Please, if you celebrate Kwanzaa, because I don't want to look it up right now, I'm sorry, tell me what that's called. But it's really cool. It has like the black candle and the green candles and the red candles, and it's very pretty. And again, I want to...
It's called the Kinara. Kinara. Kinara.
Kinara. Okay.
It says this. It's the candle holder. This is symbolic of our roots, our parent people, dash continental Africans. That's from officialkwanzaawebsite.org.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, you really don't. I want to talk about. You really don't see many like holiday things covering Kwanzaa, like, even commercials or anything. And think about how many just, you know, black people there are in America.
Yeah, like I said, I think it gets lost in the religious aspects of the holidays, like Hanukkah, like Christmas. I think it kind of gets lost in that since it's not a religious holiday, but it should be featured more prominently because there's a ton of people that celebrate it.
There really are, and they're not appealed to, and I guess it's because many companies don't see it as a consumerist holiday the way they do Christmas, and to an extent Hanukkah because you get gifts and stuff, but
hey, even Hobby Lobby has a Hanukkah section now.
Oh, that makes me feel things.
It's an end cap. It is because I've seen it before. It is an end cap, like that is usually like right next to the registers, and it's like just that end cap of that one aisle. But I was like, look, Hanukkah stuff.
Oh, how nice! You do see some Hanukkah stuff in areas that don't have huge Jewish populations, like grocery stores and stuff like that. And World Market always has stuff because it's World Market.
And I sent you that picture of that really pretty menorah that I saw at Home Goods about a month or two ago.
Oh yeah, that's always good. I just wish that more of the December holidays, because like Kwanzaa is not represented. What about all, like, you know, the non-monotheistic religions holidays that fall around the time, like they're
Yule
Yule and that stuff, those winter celebrations that get like no attention, again probably because they're not consumerists. Sorry to get all like really deeply philosophical here.
Right, but yeah, so a lot of these other holidays that aren't like the two big ones kind of just go ignored in the holiday specials. And so this is the one of those times where Disney said, hey, there's not a Kwanzaa special out there. If there is, it's not one that gets aired very often. We have this popular show that's popular with all age groups and all cultural and racial backgrounds. Let's talk about Kwanzaa.
Which is really, really good, and I strongly recommend, if you can get it, watch it. And watch it this holiday season. Even if you don't celebrate Kwanzaa, just to educate yourself and appreciate the fact that there are so many diverse, unique, special holidays all celebrated at the same time of year.
Right. This year Kwanzaa runs from December 26th to January 1st.
So get on that. And I guess now we'll segue into number 2, which...
Oh, yay! I'm excited about this one. This
Julie's
is my
very
personal
excited,
favorite.
So I'm going to and this is also because I haven't seen it in a long time, but I'm sure as you talk about it, it'll come back to me.
Right. Oh, I see this almost every year. I remember going to see it in theaters. I love this movie.
All right. Tell him number 2.
Number 2 is The Santa Claus and all subsequent sequels, all of which are subpar. The Santa Claus number 1 is the best.
I remember the one, I think it had Jack Frost in it.
I think that's number 3.
Okay.
Yes, wait. Might be no, because number 2 has Jack Frost, I think, and number 3 is the one where he gets married. I don't remember. I remember the first one the most.
So yeah, tell people all about it, because I need my memory jarred. So,
The Santa Claus features Tim Allen, and it is all about a man who, he's divorced, or either divorced. Yeah, he's divorced from his wife, and he gets to have his kid for the holidays, but I guess he's some kind of corporate bigwig if I remember correctly. And so his kid like is like a little bit neglected, I guess. But he's there for the holidays, and he keeps telling him like, you know, you need to go to bed, you need to go to bed. And the kid's like, no, I hear stuff on the roof. And he's like, what are you talking about? And so he walks outside and sees Santa on the roof and yells at him and is like, what are you doing up there? And he surprises Santa, and Santa is so startled that he falls to the ground and is unable to continue being Santa. And when they're like trying to figure out what to do, he and his son are like, oh my gosh, you know, that's Santa. What did you do to Santa? Well, as they're trying to figure out what to do, they find this card, and you know, I think it just says Santa Claus or something on it. But they get up, they're like, well, there's all these other presents we have to deliver. So they get in the sleigh, and I guess they go and they deliver all the rest of the gifts, and then I guess they like autopilot. I don't remember. It's been a while. They like autopilot and end up back at the North Pole, and anyway, they're like, hey, thanks for returning our stuff, and he's like, cool. So they send him back home, and he starts like, well, no, okay, that's skipping a part. So they take it there, and by the way, this movie is the reason I love the name Bernard so much, because one of my first, like, I tell people, like, some of my first crushes came from Disney movies, and one of them was the guy who played Bernard the elf. So, I know, right? Weird, but I always thought he was cute. But anyway, so he's like, what's going on? Everybody's treating him like he's in charge, and he's like, well, you put on the suit, you're the big guy. He's Santa Claus now. So the whole rest of the movie kind of follows him through like a typical, like, going from not caring about Christmas to being Santa Claus. So he like puts on a bunch of weight and like, you know, so at the end of the movie's a little sad and bittersweet because he has to leave the little boy behind. He gives him the snow globe, and he's like, if you shake it, I'll always be able to come. And so he leaves on the sleigh, and the little boy gets like 5 minutes and shakes it, and he gets real upset because his dad, you know, who had been the flake at the beginning of the movie, doesn't show up. And suddenly he looks behind him, and there he is in the sleigh, and he's like, I told you. So it's super cute. It's such a great family movie. The original one is the best. I mean, the second two are good. The original one is amazing. I could talk about it for forever.
So
it is my Christmas movie.
I remember the advertisings for the one where he has to find his Mrs. Claus.
Mm-hmm. I always thought that was super weird. I was like, why is this a thing?
Why are they forcing monogamy and heteronormativity?
Not really that. Just more of did we need another sequel? It was fine without a Mrs. Claus. Like, the story was complete without him having to find a woman. The second one is the Mrs. Claus one. I think the third one is Jack Frost. Because now that I think about it, because the second one is where, like, his kid is getting into trouble in school and stuff. And, like, I remember one night he and his friend go and, like, spray paint the gym because he, like, hates Christmas now. And they call his dad, and his dad's, like, out on a date with the potential Mrs. Claus. And, like, they have to call him in the middle of it. So that was definitely number 2.
And I just remember, like, Jack Frost being, like, really scary.
Yeah. Yeah, that was number 3, because the villain in number 2 was, like, the fake Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah,
because he leaves the Santa Claus, like, the fake Santa Claus in charge while he goes out to find Mrs. Claus. And so that was 2, and then 3 was the Jack Frost one.
Yeah, and unlike the good Jack Frost, which unfortunately is not from a Disney movie, but Rise of the Guardians.
Oh yeah, I was so you mean that Michael Keaton movie? I was obsessed with that as a kid. I loved Jack Frost, let me tell you.
Oh yeah, that Jack Frost too. that Jack Frost.
I love that one. People can make fun of me all they want. I love that movie.
So I guess we will ease into the honorable mentions, and those goes to all of the Disney sitcom holiday specials. You know, whether it was Sister Sister or Sabrina, Full House, or any of that.
Was Full House Disney?
Full House aired on ABC, and people consider it Disney.
Okay.
Also because they were also one of the shows that went to Disney World as a special episode.
Okay, I just didn't know. I had no idea.
Which pretty much only shows that aired on Disney Channel or ABC did. And pretty much every original, like, Disney Channel sitcom had a holiday special, like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and That's So Raven, and Lizzie McGuire. They all had their holiday specials. But my favorite is from Boy Meets World. And Boy Meets World had several, because Boy Meets World, I think, ran for like 6 to 8 seasons. So, of course, they'll have more than one. But the one that sticks out to me is the one from season 6. It's when they're older. I think they're either like in high school or college. Part of it is Sean is having a rift with his girlfriend Angela. And so, like, they're trying to get them back together, and they, during the holiday party, try to do everything they can to get, like, Sean and Angela alone and just admit their feelings for each other, and that's all, like, really sweet. And I think that's also the same one, or maybe it's a different one, where Sean and his brother Jack kind of have a rift they have to work through. But what sticks out to me is Eric Matthews, like, gets this job as, like, a Santa's helper, where he goes around, like, asking kids what they want for Christmas and stuff. And he's giving out gifts to a bunch of kids, like, pulling them out of the sack. And there's one scene where he's, like, taking things out of the sack, giving them to kids. And then there's the last kid on his lap, and he's like, and Santa has for you, and the bag's empty, this bag. Merry Christmas to you. And that just, I don't know why, but that made me die laughing. But then also, there's when these kids that he meets, he learns is having a rough time during Christmas, and needs, like, kind of like a mentor figure. And so Eric, like, takes him under his wing and does everything he can in his own goofy Eric way to give him, like, a very Merry Christmas, and kind of, like, be, like, the best stand-in big brother that he could possibly be, and just show this kid that there is good in the world, there's kindness in the world, and people that you just randomly meet can absolutely love you, and you are loved. And I think that's just such a good message for kids, especially during the holidays, because not every kid has family around during the holidays, or people who love them, even, who feel alone. And I think that kid might actually have been an orphan. I think Eric might have helped him get adopted. If someone has seen that special recently and knows exactly what happened, let me know and remind me, because I just know it meant a lot to me at the time when I saw it, and that's why I still remember part of it. But I think it sends just a good message. It's like, there is love for you out there, especially during the holidays. Even if you're having a hard time, you just gotta reach out. There's people out there spreading the holiday cheer, and it's more than just superficial. They genuinely mean it when they want to make you feel good this holiday season and feel, cared about. And so I guess we will go into number one, which...
Number one! Little Jay Witz throw out there.
Which I think should be kind of predictable, given this is probably number one on pretty much everyone's Disney holiday list. The Mickey Christmas Carol from the 80s.
I felt like it was basically blasphemy not to put this as number one.
And I think that, arguably, the exception of, like, the old comics, was really most people's first introduction to Scrooge McDuck before the DuckTales TV series, because this does predate the DuckTales TV series.
Right, and it was my first introduction to the Christmas Carol story.
Oh, yeah, it actually probably was a lot of kids who grew up in, like, the 80s and 90s first introduction to it, because not many kids read Dickens until, like, middle school.
Right. Well, and not just that, like, this came out before Wishbone's version, so this, for me, this was what I saw first, and it was always a classic. I watched it every year, over and over. My favorite part was Goofy being Marley. Like, I loved him, like, when he would appear in the doorknob and be like, Scrooge! Scrooge. Right? That made me laugh so hard. And then we like fell down the stairs and hurt. No, I thought that was funny.
Oh, and I felt just so bad for. Oh, that special also made me cry.
Right? Because I mean, like, if you know the story of the Christmas Carol, like, it's so sad.
Well, when they showed like the Ghost of Christmas Future and like take Scrooge to the future and you see the little crutch and the
Right. Jim. Oh man, you made me cry. He just like wordlessly points and he's like, I don't want to see it, and he's like, go. He like just keeps pointing until he goes and looks and he sees Mickey and Minnie and the other brothers and sisters like by this gravestone and they're like putting the little crutch by it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so sad.
I'm like, Disney, why would you do this? Like, I get why, but why would you do this? Also showing like the Ghost of Christmas Past and Scrooge's past and like Daisy who playing the love interest, and I'm like, that's pretty sad too, that he like shuts her out for money and she just genuinely loved and cared about him, and she even like he's even gonna help her with his business and turn his back on her.
It's like, so sad.
That's sad.
But of course it has a happy ending.
Oh, and then and of course the Ghost of Christmas Present showed him like the current situation with his employee, who was like, Mickey, and Scrooge didn't realize just how little his employee actually had, where like they could barely feed the family dinner, yet they were so grateful for what they have, especially Tiny Tim.
Right? They're all that's the very I'm just gonna say I don't know if this is from the book, because somehow I actually skipped reading A Christmas Carol in middle school because the AP class read, or the pre-AP class read it, but I wasn't in pre-AP, which is weird because I ended up with a degree in English. Like, you'd think I would have taken like pre-AP all the way through high school, but that's not the case. I only took AP English my senior year. But I'm pretty sure like that the God bless us everyone line, I think it's in the book, but it's just Tiny Tim says it in the movie, and it's just as I will never forget this, the little voice being like, God bless us everyone, and I'm just like, it's like the very end of the movie, and Tiny Tim's adorable. And
I know, and like
Scrooge deserves many things for hurting him.
And that part during like the ghost the Christmas present, they show his family, it's and I think like Tiny Tim also says, it's like, we gotta make sure to also, like, they're saying grace, and we gotta make sure to also thank Mr. Scrooge. And I'm like,
he remembers Mr. Scrooge even though he's not the nicest person ever.
And it's like you're thanking Mr. Scrooge for paying your father, even though he pays him very meager wages, and you have nothing, but you're still so grateful that you want to thank your father's employer. That is, I think so heartbreaking. It's so
right, and I think part of it is a little bit of just being a child, not really realizing that Mr. Scrooge doesn't pay him enough, but being thankful that Mr. Scrooge pays him at all, so they have it, but not really understanding that he's a Scrooge.
Yeah, but then of course the ending is so happy, as like he just like starts spending all the money and like fills a bag with toys, and like the poor beggar, the people at the beginning who were like asking him for money to donate to the poor, that he shuts out, he runs by them and like throws a bag full of gold at them.
Right, yeah, he's like he becomes a changed man. So happy ending, and is wonderful. The animation's beautiful. It's fun, and I mean it's fun and poignant, and like it runs the range of emotions.
And the special was Eisner's idea.
Really? I didn't know that.
That was one of Eisner's things that he wanted to put out, because I think that's just when he first started working for Disney. And he's like, we need to freshen up our image and pump some new fresh content out there, and let's make, some Christmas specials, and let's do this and let's do that. So yeah, that was one of the first things that came out of Disney when Eisner stepped up to the plank, and I'm like, let's go. Good job, Eisner.
Right, yeah, this is
4 for you, Eisner. You go, Eisner.
I love that special. I mean, it was one of those videos that we only watched during a certain time of the year, and it was it's something I very much associate with Christmas, and I love it. If you haven't seen it, it's wonderful. Absolutely watch it. You can gather the whole family around. You can all watch it.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's just such a great holiday feel good movie, and it's Mickey. Like everybody loves Mickey.
If you want to watch it on Netflix, it's on there. It's under the House of Mouse Christmas special. It's one of the segments they play as part of it, because House of Mouse was a show that played a bunch of like shorts and stuff. So it plays in the House of Mouse Christmas holiday special if you want to see it.
Yeah. So I guess that wraps up this episode for us. We are just about at our time limit.
Yeah, just about. And once again, thank you for listening. And of course, you might disagree with our list. Feel free to tell us like which ones you think should have been moved around, or again, we asked you for some information about some movies we don't remember very well, so please fill us in. And on our Facebook page, and as part of our Facebook page's group for Reimagining the Magic, we have asked the question, what is your favorite Disney holiday special? And what are some of your ideas for a Disney holiday special that they can do in the future, or should do in the future? Whether it's for a holiday that's not even Christmas, if you think they should be more diverse, or just we would like to hear your ideas, and we might feature them in an episode, or if anything, we will participate in the discussion with you. So definitely go to our Facebook page, which is linked in the description, and hop into the group. But it's obviously Facebook groups are free to join, and it's an open group to join, so be sure to like our Facebook page and join us. And we will now have to do our usual where to find us, where to follow us. We are Reimagining the Magic on Facebook, though it is facebook.com/Reimagine the Magic. We're also Reimagine the Magic on Twitter. We are Reimagine the Magic on Tumblr. And we are. You can listen to the audio on Stitcher, where we are Reimagining the Magic. We share links to the RSS feed with the straight up audio on Facebook and on Twitter and such. And you can also follow our personal stuff if you want to. You can find my Facebook page. Just look up Kyato. It's KYATTO on Facebook. You can look me up on there. That is my public page, or my Twitter, which I don't really use that much at all. It is at XOXO KYATTO, and Julie, of course, has hers.
Yep, I am on pretty much only on Twitter. I am at writer J.A. Yates. It's YEATES. And I just realized that like I could have just put like J on there and it would have been funny, but I didn't, and it kind of makes me sad now. Writer J.
But that's okay. And so yeah, that's us, and that wraps up this week's episode, where we talk about our top 10 favorite holiday specials. Once again, thank you for listening, and we will be back again next week with another fun episode. Bye bye.
See you later.